Who was some of the closest people around Pimp C when he came home, and then especially like towards the end?
When he came home, uh, of course, longtime friend Mitchell Queen, MQJ, one of the founding members, U.G.K, Easy Leo, uh, Bobo, Bobo Luciani out of Dallas, Big Mun, of course Bun, and Leroy Wright, one of his original just brothers, DJ Bird. He kind of kept it real simple, and then he made his circle even smaller. Like when we traveled, it was myself, Big Mun, Mike Mo, and Pimp.
Hmm.
And then you would have Heezy, Big Bub. They would come in also, and man, they was the merch team. They was killing it. DJ Beto, TOE, the Underdogs. They joined in, and that was. And you're not trying to be disrespectful. I'm gonna add him to it as well. 17. Um, he also was toward the end was becoming close with Pimp, and
That's
that
the
was
one.
it.
That's kind of this guy was kind of like controversial and shit, man.
Yeah, yeah. He. I mean, like I said, Pimp gave us all the game. It's just how we used it. We didn't exploit what he gave us. We didn't exploit. Like you rarely hear me. If you know me, you know me. But if you don't know me, I'm not gonna be walking around. Hey, I'm Pimp C cousin. DJ Beto not finna be walking around saying I'm DJ Beto. I was down with Pimp. I produced this. I produced that. That's not the way we went about doing it. We took the knowledge he gave us and used it to better ourselves. And all of those people that I said that used it to better themselves, when you sit back and look at them versus the ones that exploited the relationship, they didn't prosper from that. But the ones that chose to, you know, go a different direction with it and learn from what he gave and use it to your everyday life, they grown and prospered from it.
I hear people talk about learning stuff from Pimp. Like when you running with Pimp, like what's some of the common like themes and like things that y'all kind of picking up on and conversations that he's kind of like putting up on y'all?
His main thing when he came home was paperwork. He would talk to people about paperwork all the time. Make sure your paperwork straight. Make sure this straight. What's your publishing like? How many points you gonna get? What you got your front end money and your back end money. How to manipulate the system. Like if you a rapper, you got your budget for that, but then you turn around and you produce a song, you got to juice the budget. You got to get your producer points too. So that's like two different monies, the type of money that you finna get. So that's the type of game he would give out to people. And like me just being around him, I learned little stuff that back then I never thought I was gonna use it, but today it put me in a position where I'm able to have benefited from it. The game he gave me now has enabled me to be an operations manager for a company called C2R Music Group. I started off as a photographer, videographer, and the knowledge I learned on the road, the owner promoted me to ops manager,
Hmm.
where I'm the second in command. So that's how we learned from the game he gave us.
Yeah, man. Were you around when he did the phone call with the Atlanta radio
I was
station?
in the back seat.
No shit. Okay, you got to tell this whole thing from before y'all get the phone call to the whole thing.
Before the phone call, I think he got word that the radio station wanted to get in touch with him. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna give him what they're looking for. And he just didn't give a damn. He told them how he felt.
Where y'all at? You sit in the back seat, so y'all were in the car this
We
whole
was in
time.
the car. We was I don't know, we might have been in Dallas. And yeah, I think we might have been in Dallas somewhere. So I'm just in the back seat while he was on the phone with him. And I literally heard everything he said on that interview. So something like when he got to the point with the boy and the in the Range Rover, I'm like, damn, I couldn't. I was like, man, they probably heard me laughing in the back. But that's like stuff like that. We always talked about it, and it literally was people from Atlanta that he was cool with calling them and like, yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
And 'cause Pimp lived in Atlanta. Pimp Pimp lived next door to Key Sweat. He got a song talking about I bought me a house next to that bitch Key Sweat. He literally lived next door to Key Sweat.
Hmm.
Back when Key Sweat had that bread. So Pimp had that bread too.
Man, that's okay. So he gets off the phone. Does he feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be this big thing, or it was just like a regular day for
It
Pimp
was
Play?
a regular day. It wasn't.
So he got off the phone and it was, y'all just went back to doing whatever y'all was doing.
Mm-hmm. That was the end of it. He ain't really just dwell on shit. Once he said it, he was done. And he meant that if you ain't gotta like it, but you gotta respect it. And he was on to the next subject.
Hmm.
That's just how he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he ever talk about the whole thing with like Jeezy all that at the time? Because when he first got out, you know, they were cool. I remember they had to get throw footage, you know what I'm saying, and then with the video shooting all that, and then everything kind of turned. It seemed like after, not long after that.
To be truthful, I don't know if it was Jeezy himself or management, but that shit pissed him off that day when the UGK album was about to drop. They did a song that called the Dickie song. Somebody was pretty much dragging their feet. You don't know. I don't know if it was Jeezy or management, but Pimp wanted that song on the album. They wouldn't clear it, and I believe that was their ignition.
Hmm.
And yeah, he he felt a certain type of way. I don't know. Maybe some people might have heard this on a video that's out, but Pimp did a verse about it. Pimp did drop a diss track, and just to make things real simple and clear, it was like it was literally right before he ended up going to LA, in between Thanksgiving and the time he left to go to LA. Jeezy had a show. He came up to the room, opened up his door. He's like, "Hey man, y'all want to go to the Jeezy show?" He kind of looked around like, "Nigga, yeah, y'all want to go to the Jeezy show?" So we ended up going. We walked straight downstairs. First person we see, DJ Drama. DJ Drama kind of like surprised to see him, and somebody said like he heard him mumble like, "Damn, he came." Um, from after that, he was like, we had spot VIP literally like right above the show. Jeezy came out like a G. I ain't never been to a Jeezy show, so he came out pretty much saying 17.5, yeah, nigga, I said it, and looked right up. I don't know if he actually knew that's what Pimp was, but he looked in that direction, and so everybody was pissed off. And he ain't say nothing, so we get back to the house. We had a high rise on Westheimer. They started the session. He's like, all right, y'all mad? Nigga, put that shit on a song. Let's make a hit. And everybody who was there put out a verse, and Pimp came out saying, "You my favorite rapper in the street, but I ain't Gucci man. I'll leave your brains on your seat. Now, bitch, stop talking that shit before I leave your brains on your outfit."
Classic Pimp.
Donnie Houston.